Today we're going to talk about the lack of old school mechanics in the world today. All right, now, if you have something that has a distributor, a carburetor, need a timing light, need the front end aligned, and if it's older than 20 years old, you're going to have a hard time finding a place to get the work done, because a lot of the old timers have retired out, and the new people, God love them, they are mechanics through and through. They work their ass off. They do the work that nobody else wants to do, and they do it sometimes getting paid the wrong way, getting treated incorrectly, just getting abused and used up and mad at the industry, and they quit because they don't have time, or they don't have the patience, or they just don't want to deal with all the BS that's involved out there right now. Now, the new guys, it's pretty simple. It's not simple, but it's simpler, okay? There's no diagnostic I'm looking for a word. There's no diagnostic basically training anymore. There's no diagnostic training anymore, because all they have to do is everything with the computer. They just plug it into the port, they pull it up on their little screen, and they find out, they get all these codes, they find out what's wrong. But that I'm not distressing on any of them because of that, because that is the industry. That's the way cars are made. That's the only way you can work on them now, okay? What I'm talking about is all of us old guys that's got stuff that's from about 92 or maybe 85 and older. Where are you going to take your stuff to get it fixed unfortunately, if you're getting up in age, you can't physically do it anymore, you have an accident or something, but you still want your hot rod, okay? What do you do? Well, there ain't a lot of options. I mean, I'm running out of options. It took me just to get the front end alignment on Bamalam, and it's an 80 model, okay? And there's not no turn cams and no adjustment things. It's shims, okay? Plain and simple, it's shims. The A-frames, the bottom A-frames are locked into place, and the top A-frames, they're shimmed for the tires, okay? I called around local. I tried several different places that I thought maybe because they were older. No, they just all the old techs that knew how to use the old system and stuff. They were gone. I found a place local, and it's called Phoenix Tire and Repair. It's in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and actually the owner came out to do it. The boss. Because he was an older tech. He's younger than me, but he still knew how to do it. But the funny part was, it's a good thing I took along a bag full of shims, because they didn't have any. They just don't have, they don't have the volume to need them. So that'd be the first thing. Front alignment, front end stuff, take your parts with you, because especially shims. I mean, if you've got some in a box, in a bag somewhere, take them with you, because the front alignment shop ain't going to have them. And if they do have them, they're going to cost you. And if they don't have them, they're going to charge you to go get some, because that's probably not going to be the same day deal. All right. My son works for a large dealership. Okay. And that's all he does. He's the OBD2. He's just, whatever the scanner tool is of the day. And he's replacing engines. He's doing warranty work for a major dealership, okay, which doesn't pay a lot. I mean, it pays, but it's warranty work where, say, pulling an engine and putting one back in would be 13 hours worth of pay, which he could probably do in about 8 hours, okay? But if it's a warranty job, it's 4 hours. So he's going to work 8 hours and get paid for 4, which I think is one of the reasons why the industry is dying, because who wants to do that? Who wants to work all day long getting a job done with a service manager that's telling you got to get it done by today, but you're only getting paid half the day for it. The rest of the time, it's on them. You may be making $32, $38 an hour, but you're only getting paid for 4 hours for the 8 hours of work you're doing. That's flat rate. That's warranty work flat rate. Warranty flat rate on specific jobs, if it's not warranty work, pays very well. But when it's a warranty job, so no, it's not good. But with all those techs and all, and this is a big shop. This is a big repair shop. It's got probably 12 bays in it, and they're full all the time and working all the time. So, you got oil changers and you got techs and you got master techs, but if I was to pull Bamalammy in and ask them to set the timing on it, besides my son, which grew up with me in the summers working on it, knowing how to do it, besides my son, there may be one guy in the whole shop that might know how to do it. Don't know if he'd have the tool. Don't know if he'd have a timing lat, because it's not a thing that's used in the industry anymore. That's dead. Okay. That's the sad part about it. Now, I understand, old technology is old technology, but just the nuts and bones, checking your timing, setting your valves, setting your carburetor, using a vacuum gauge, things like that. That's that's over, So what do? You network. Okay. All of you guys have friends. And especially if you're my age, in the mid 50s, fixing to be late 50s, but mid 50s, you have friends. You have people that still know how to do it. They have the magic. They can walk up to a truck idling, loping, and they can tell if there's a cylinder this week or not. It's like I said, it's almost magical. Would you like to be part of something special? Uncle Buck's Garage now has memberships, and that's a open opportunity to be behind the scenes, to get information nobody else gets to see, to see things, possibly get to see things before anybody else sees them, things like that. If you would like that opportunity, there's a link down below for the memberships for Uncle Buck's Garage. Please sign up. The other thing is that, there's only so much you can get done for a friend. I mean, like, we're all getting older and it's all getting harder for us to get around. And you have to do things that, I hate to say it. I've got lots of friends that's got lots of hot rods that they don't drive them anymore because it's hard for them to work on them because we're getting older. Our health is not as good as we used to. To find a younger person that knows how to do the old school stuff is becoming a rarity. It really is. There's no other way around it. It's a very rare thing for the younger people to come in. Because of all the, whenever I do a lot of research about everything that I talk about, and if I don't know for sure, but I've been seeing things and watching YouTube channels and reading articles about this exact problem. We all have heard the story about how Ford has said there's 60,000 techs down. There's 60,000 bays that aren't filled. Well, then they need to figure out a new plan. Thank God for, there's still schools out there that still teach old school. Now they have to fill in with new school stuff, with the computers and everything, but there still are accredited colleges that still teach the old school timing, temperature, compression, spark, the whole 9 yards. The old school, setting a carburetor, setting a float, doing brakes without non-controlled, no ABS, doing a front end alignment, do a front end rebuild on something that has shims and coil springs on it and A-arms and just old school, rock solid, they're there. They're becoming scarce. I don't know. Maybe someday we might open Uncle Buck's University to teach some of those. I have a young gentleman that's in the neighborhood. He's, I think he's about to turn 13 or 14. And I think one of these days we might start bringing him in during the summers and teaching them a thing or two. Heck, I might even open up for business for side work. I mean, there's more need out there. There's more need than people want to put on. I mean, I know everybody's talking about getting rid of the old cars and, the buyback situations and the cash for clunkers and thing going on in Minnesota. And 2027 of them being able to override your system and just shut your car down on you and things like that. That's going to be mandatory. Fly by wire instead of, a shaft from your steering column, from your steering wheel all the way down to the gearbox, and an actual gearbox that's not electric, that's manual. There's just a lot of things. There's a lot of things. Now, I'm not bashing on technology. Now, for long trips, me and the wife have a newer car. It's a Ford Edge, and it works great. Doesn't have a lot of miles on it, and it's never let us down, and it's comfortable. But it doesn't have all the stuff on it that could be gotten on it, because I like gauges. I don't like screens. I like screens to watch videos on. I don't want a screen to tell me what my car is doing, or for automatic butt scratcher or heated seats or this or that or other thing. No, I don't need all that. That's not who I am. I don't think there's going to be a time where I buy a new one. Ever. At this point. I don't see the value. I could take that amount of money that I would pay for something new and put it into something older and make it the way I want it, ride how I want, perform how I want, and be as simple as I can make it to make it enjoyable. You can make something gold-plated with the kind of money they want for new vehicles these days. Gold-plated. Well, maybe not gold-plated. Maybe silver-plated. Gold's kind of up there right now. So, just something to think about. And I don't know. You guys tell me down below what you guys' thoughts about this whole situation is. Because the world is changing. The world always changes. But I don't know. It's funny. We went from the 50s to the 90s. That's 40 years. With not a lot of change in the industry. Not a lot of change. The same guy could be working on the same thing in the same toolbox for 40 years. It's not like that no more. It isn't like that. My son continually, every year they come out with new systems, and every year he has to buy a new tool or a new this or a new that just to be able to work on it. And that's the difference. See, where my old Snap-on or my old Craftsman toolbox has got every tool that I need in it to rebuild a truck from end to end. One little Craftsman 2-stack, this wide, drawers that I've had for 40 years. That's all the tools that I need. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of tools just to be able to do the job. But for those tools for him is to make it where an 8-hour job turns into a 6-hour job, or a 6-hour turns into a 3. The tools have become time savers. So that's the difference. Is if you don't have the right tool, you might blow your whole day's pay just trying to get a bolt out, or to get something removed that has a special fastener on it. That's what a mechanic's toolbox is. The mechanic's toolbox is about speed and being efficient and not wasting time, because they don't have the time to waste because of flat rate. They've got to get it done fast. And he's been doing really good. He hadn't had a lot of turnover. He hadn't had a lot of returns. Once it's fixed for him, it's done. But he's not rebuilding engines. He's just replacing engines. He's not rebuilding transmissions. He's just replacing transmissions. Everything comes in a crate and gets popped out. Accessories go on, pop back in. From the bottom. Because that's where they're produced these days. Even in trucks, to work on some of the trucks, you got to take the damn cab off. You got to take the cab off the truck to work on some of the stuff that happens. And it's buried underneath where you can't get to it. That's the crazy part to me. Engineering has really screwed up the world. Things used to be a lot simpler. This frame that's sitting right in front of me here in this garage, it is as simple and basic as it comes. cross pieces, braces, brackets, and you're done. And everything is accessible from the top when the hood is popped. You need to change distributor. You need to check timing. Everything's available right there, easy. And you got room enough to get in the engine compartment and sit on the fender well while you're working on it. Try to do that on a new truck. That's supposed to have, trucks, would have no, but they got so much stuff under that hood. You can't get into anything. My 09, I mean, it's 16 years old now, 17 years old. And it's still, you got to have a box to get up in there, and you got to be a acrobat to get the back two plugs out of it because it's sunk back in there so far, and it's got so much stuff on top of it. It's sad to me in a lot of ways, and I'm not griping at technology as much as you think I am. I mean, I enjoy my little bits and pieces of it that I deal with, but there are limits, and we're starting to hit the edge of the cliff, so something's going to have to give. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think I'll be building instead of buying from this point on in my life. So comment down below. Tell me what you think. Appreciate all you guys. Y'all have a great day, because a great day today can be an even better day tomorrow. So if you want to see my best little video ever made, right here. If you want to see the one that they say is best for you, is right there. Y'all be good.